guys, Island Turtle here. Happy first day of spring. Welcome to BOMISpirit. If you're new, welcome. So I wanted to go live because I haven't, well, for a couple reasons. One, it is the first day of spring, and yesterday I got really caught up in the equinox energy and did ceremony and all the things. So I really took yesterday for myself. I also haven't gotten to the signs. I plan on doing that later today. But yeah, it's first day of spring, so it just felt appropriate. I also was getting pulled on a little bit by cancer energy. So this could be for people who have strong cancer in their chart or just who resonate with cancer. But the moon has shifted into Leo from Cancer, so that could also be part of it too. Excuse me, as we were going through the equinox. Let's see. Aloha, hi, Naturally Nicole. Hello, beautiful. Oh, you're so sweet. Hello, other beautiful. But yeah, it just felt right. And also, even though I was getting pulled on by Cancer, they were showing me a card from a deck that I don't really work with anymore, actually. It's in the the cards that are not in circulation, but I was like, I don't want to get up and get it. Because actually my space, I sit on the floor while I do readings with you guys, and channelings with you guys. So I was like, yeah, I'll just tell them. So it's from the Tarot of Dreams deck, and it actually is the Ace of Swords. I do like that deck, so maybe it's time to pull it out of circulation. It has a unique, well, card for each suit. So a unique addition for every suit, I guess is how I should say that, called the Palaces, which I think is cool because it really speaks to like a state of mind, like in that element. I just think that's kind of interesting for anybody who hasn't worked with it before. But yeah, we're gonna do a little impromptu reading, but I hope you guys had an amazing equinox. I hope you are excited that we're in spring and the eclipses are here and it's new energy, and I'm happy. I'm just very happy right now. Ceremony last night was just, it was crazy. I might do a turtle talk on it, but yeah, let's go ahead and see why Cancer, why Ace of Swords. I think it does have to do with the moon transition. And just thinking about it off the top of my head, if this does relate to this like moon transit, I'm trying to think how that would play off of the other elements. It definitely would be square all of that North Node, Chiron, Mercury, Aries energy. But it would work really well with Neptune and Venus right now as well because they're in Pisces. Okay. It would also work well with Jupiter and Saturn. So the moon would be supporting Saturn, Venus, Neptune, be working well with Jupiter. It would be square all that Aries energy. And it's interesting because they were showing me the Ace of Swords, right? I'm just shuffling the star codes Astro while I'm tuning into this. To me, that feels like a really nice support and also clarity that could come through by way of relationships. Relationships, creativity. Oh, interesting. I'm hearing bondage. I am hearing that. So what we have been bonded to, what we want to be bonded to. Cancer is also the sign of emotional stability. It's the sign of like, maternal energy, right? Mothers, family, domestic life, all of that goodiness. But it is the sign of emotional stability. I feel like whatever message wants to come through has to relate to, not has to, but most likely will relate to that. Clarity on what brings emotional stability, but as it has been square all that Aries energy, could also bring up a lot of emotion. So it could create a nice little window as far as how relationships should shift or can shift for your emotional stability, what your creative pursuits, how they actually how that could support you, how your own creativity can support you and be an outlet for you. So that's just what's coming through. But let's go ahead and see. Let's see. Any messages or insights for the collective, whoever needs to hear this message. I'm hearing an interesting phrase. Are you letting the light into your sight? It's more of a question than a statement. Are you letting the light into your sight? Are you letting the light into your sight? Yeah, I'm getting more of the Ace of Swords energy. I feel like we're moving into the air element now as we're like moving through this channeling. Like King of Swords, Queen of Swords kind of vibes. Discernment. a new level of discernment, a new achievement of discernment for some of you who have been moving through the energies that I described already. Let's see. Ooh. Well, there we go. South Node, the past, which is in Libra, air. Hold on one second. I also had some other cards fly. Not taking them because they like vomited all over the place, but South Node coming out here. We do have the South Nodal eclipse on the 25th coming up. Past karmic energies, closing things out. 33, a master number, very powerful master number too. Yeah, I just keep getting that it just feels like there's a full circle experience happening leading to that Ace of Swords. Whether it is in the realm of how your own creativity can help you, or whether it's in the realm of like yeah, like what emotional stability is for you in relationships. I keep feeling that rub against Aries. I keep feeling that a little bit, which would make sense since we have the South Node and the North Node is in Aries. This could be something that's actually coming up for you on the full moon Libra for some of you. They're bringing up Gemini. Something might have started for you when the moon was in Gemini and hitting a milestone probably around this time, but definitely something coming full circle on the full moon Libra that something about when the moon was in Gemini. Something about when the moon was in Gemini for some of you. Okay, let's keep going. Anything else for the collective? You could also be moon in Gemini, not necessarily, but I'm just picking that up. Ooh, I'm getting Anubis. Who's working with Anubis? Somebody's working with Anubis. You could also be seeing a lot of like dogs, either like as synchronicity or literally in your dreams, and probably black dogs. That's so interesting. Or actual jackals. That'd be great. But Anubis, Anubis just came out of nowhere. Yeah, helping you to really allow certain things to really die, fully be. It's like, it feels ceremonial to me, like almost like officially put them in the ground. Not just like suppressing something, but like an honoring, like a funeral. Like, I hate to say it that way, but kind of. That's what I'm getting. I'm not taking them because it was this huge pile, but look, Cancer. But we do have the North Node. Well, look at that. The only two cards out here, the South Node, the North Node. Look at that. Wow, I've never seen these two cards next to each other. The artist on this deck is just amazing. So talk about full circle, right? Literally where we've been and where we're going. Karma, dharma, however you want to look at this for yourself, the past, the future. Yeah, there is definitely a full circle closing out of certain things for anybody who's resonating with this, but it's going to be different things for different people. It's like I keep getting Cancer, I keep getting Gemini. Libra and Aries is playing a huge role into this, but we are in that period of time of the eclipses, right? But they keep bringing up the moon in Gemini, like something started around the moon in Gemini for whoever's resonating with this, okay? And then through eclipse season, there is going to be a full burial. It's like weird how that wants to come through, a full burial. Yeah, exact same thing happened in 2019, the exact same two people. I'm just handling it better. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's continue. Any other messages or insights for the collective? I can't get away from this visual. I just gotta show it to you guys again because it's just incredible. I mean, wow, right? Literally talk about night and day difference. Night and day difference feels a little bit like a clean slate, which the Ace of Swords can also represent. Wow. Any other messages or insights for the collective? Oh, very nice. We have passion with the 5th house, and then we have transits with climate, 55, another master number, and 43 breaking down to a 7. Just to point it out, we do have 34 and 43. So mirroring numbers here. So we have synchronicities, master numbers, and mirroring numbers all over the place. And we only have a few cards, but this brings me back to the creativity, the inspired creative outlet. Some of you may, I feel a little resistance there. Actually, I do. I feel a little resistance. It's time to be more creative. It's time to be creative. It's time to frolic. It's time to have fun. I talked about this in the weekly. Hold on a second. I talked about this in the weekly, but it feels like this energy does not want to be denied. But I can feel some of you denying it a little bit, or almost like not sure how to play with it. Like not sure how to play with it, not sure how to trust it, to just play and frolic. And I get it. We all have responsibilities. We all got things we got to do and take care of. But trust that this creativity energy, this creative window will actually benefit you in other aspects of your life. The transits card, I'm just getting big, words. Sorry. Words are like really hard for me lately, so I'm trying my best here. Because transits, I feel like, speaks to the shifting of the environment. And things are shifting. But I feel this perception that's causing resistance. Like maybe perceiving chaos, where it's really just change that allows you to be a little bit more free. But the knowing how to be free is a little lost. The knowing how to like actually do that and exist in that, like what does that mean? And what does that look like? And like, it's kind of like that. It's like getting a toolbox and not really knowing the tools. That's what I'm getting with that. Some of you may be getting lost a little bit in some illusions of, hate to say it, but it's just what I'm picking up on, like external influences of fear of the changes that are going on in the world. And yes, there are big things going on, and like sure, there are things that we want to be prepared for. There's no question about that. But the future holds a lot more beauty than all that fear mongering is allowing people to really tune into. And that's also why I think this creative energy is coming up as being so important, because it's not only nourishing, but it also connects you to your own creative essence, which actually is connecting you to the creator, right? It's allowing that divine creator energy to actually flow through you, right? And that's important, not just for you, but the people around you, the collective as well. And you might not think it matters. Okay, this is getting into an interesting other message here. You might not think it matters. You might think what you do doesn't matter, but it does. What we all do matters. Even if it seems small, even if it seems like we're not having an impact, we always have an impact. Nobody is insignificant. Nobody is insignificant. And it's not to place this grandiose way of thinking about ourselves. It's putting things into perspective of the effect that we all have on each other and the effect that we have as a collective, as a we, right? We are all a we because we're all one, right? Don't ignore this. Don't ignore that. It's going to be way more important. I just keep getting that. It's going to be way more important than you realize. Don't hit the snooze button on fun. Don't hit the snooze button on play. Don't hit the snooze button on just being a little wild. It's important. It's important. I keep getting this like responsibility. I keep getting that responsibility and bills and money. And yes, that is the hard part of like how do we make room for ourselves? But that's, okay, here we go. Are we really going here? I wasn't going to talk about this. This is starting to relate to some things that came through in ceremony that I was picking up on. Okay, let me find the right words of how to talk about this, because like what came through last night as is coming through now can be potentially triggering in some of the words that like I really want to use with it. So I want to be cautious here. For many, many years as humans, we had just this innate natural way of living in balance with things, of living in balance with nature, with each other, in forms of community. And survival was wrapped up in that too. And at a certain point in our history, modern history, that was disrupted by, you could say, innovation, invention, industry. And there were a lot of great things that came with that. And we all know this. This is stuff we all know. The words I really want to use are triggering, so I'm trying to like dance around the words that I really want to use, right? We went from living more free, and maybe perceptionally things were a little trickier, but we were more free, we were in balance, we were in flow, and we were all together, right? And that was because we were allowed to be in this. There is room for this. And the more we have embraced industry, the more we've embraced, I want to be so careful with my words here. The more we've embraced the way, they're not letting me get around the words, so I guess I got to say it. The more we embrace the way of colonized living, the more we become enslaved by it. And the less free we are, the less free we will be. The less love there is, the less connection there is, the less of this there is, the less we are actually allowing that divine creator energy to flow through us. And that word colonized, colonizer, is like the one that really wants to come through. And I was really trying to avoid it, but it doesn't want to be avoided. So I'm like, okay, I guess we'll do that. We've known that freedom's been part of the energy that we're learning to embrace. We all know that. But do we really know like the levels of depth that affects us on a soul level when it comes to that? And it comes through in different ways for different people, but this colonized way of living keeps us out of balance and keeps us out of this. That's why it's very important for this, because this can restore balance within the self and then balance collectively, communally. Even if you don't think it will, it's a vibration, it's an energy. Okay, I'm gonna move off of that. Overall, we have the moon. Perception, and I did say the moon was transitioning from Cancer to Leo. 19 cyclical energy, and just to point it out because I think it matters. Conjunction alliance 51 breaking down to a 6, and then we have 7th house with partnership. Again, this like what would help us to bring harmony to ourselves emotionally, to help us feel emotionally stable and secure and nurtured and taken care of. I like that conjunction came out here with 7th house because it also brings into the equation the importance of other people, the importance of the connections between all of us, right? Which is also part of this too, as far as being in this energy. Because you can be in this energy within yourself, and absolutely that's beautiful. But when it's shared, when it's witnessed, all of that divine creator energy gets to ripple out. Someone gets to receive in that, which means they can share and someone else gets to receive in that. And then it just ripples through. It's like engaging in this, you're engaging in the frequency of harmonizing, and then you get to spread it around. Is how that feels. I think the breaking down of family has a lot to do with our disconnection. Absolutely. And I believe that that's part of this too, right? That's absolutely part of this too. Because when we're not in our light, when we're not in our creative energy for someone to receive, that also can dismantle connection, right? If we're not connected to this, we're not connected to our light. We're not connected to our creator energy. So we're not connected to ourselves. So we can be connected to other people. You can't connect to other people if you're not connected to yourself, right? So it's all a ripple effect. It's all a ripple effect. So yes, you might not think it's important to write that poem. You might not think it's important to do that painting or make that song or whatever. Even if you just share it with one person, it's important. It's a very interesting message that's coming through today. It's not what I expected. Let's pull some other cards. Yes, let's do it. I do have spell casting here. It wanted to come out, so let's go for it. Can anyone tell me which deck this is? Astro Oracle. Here. Sorry. Star Codes Astro Oracle. All the decks I use are listed below. So this one should be linked down there. Okay. My North Node is in the 5th house. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. Also with the 5th house and 7th house coming up, obviously that's going to tie into deepening your relationships, whether you want to look at that romantically or not. I think this goes way beyond that. This goes way beyond that. It's building connection with others by building connection with self and doing that through creativity, which is really doing it through divine inspiration. And then you're allowing that to permeate into your relationships and people around you. Very important. Okay. Any other messages or insights for the collective regarding this spread? Ooh. Grieving. So it's like my 5 of Cups card here coming out. Very much feels that's in line with the South Node, right? We started this whole channeling / reading with this feeling of coming full circle, right? Where I keep getting Anubis. Every time I get back into the energy of like Ace of Swords, full circle, the past, South Node, I suddenly Anubis comes up really strong and it's like, oh, okay. And they keep saying like funeral, like something very officially being buried, something very officially, maybe even in a sanctified way, like being allowed to die and be released. But I just keep getting very like in a sacred way. But that's why grieving is out here. And whatever it is that you are grieving or mourning, I guess mourning is the better word, mourning or allowing to actually be buried can vary person to person, okay? Any other messages or insights for the collective? Oh, and there it is. Closure. Full circle. Official burial. Mourning in a sacred way. And then we have home, that feeling of security, safety. And again, family could be playing a huge role in this too. It's like I was getting that strong Cancer energy and then it did kind of peak out a little bit. But I keep getting it's more about the emotional security aspect of things and feeling emotionally nourished. And how creativity can be a part of that for you. And then that also allows for that to permeate through your relationships. Okay. This feels like whatever is being mourned or officially buried in a sacred way. It keeps what it be said like that, is allowing for this to happen. This full embracing of this fun and play and creative energy to permeate others as well couldn't happen unless this happens first, is how that's coming through. It's like making space. It's making space for it. For the capability of it. Oh, thank you. For the capability of it. Making space for the capability of it. I think this is going to resonate more for people who have been working through any of your own stuff that has gotten in the way of you actually being able to connect with people or share with people or believe, honestly, or just believe in yourself or have a sense of security within yourself. Any other messages or insights for the collective? Ooh. On the bottom, we have forgiveness. Ah, beautiful. And more butterflies, too, with transformation coming out. Forgiveness is an interesting card here. Forgiveness, I feel like, is just another version of acceptance. Excuse me. Of acceptance, making peace. That's definitely going in line with the closure and the grieving card. Some of you may have to move through some heavy emotions that actually will lead you to forgiving certain individuals, maybe even forgiving yourself. But I really feel like it's just about finding peace and making acceptance. Let's see. Been feeling so much grief. Yeah, and even when I did the weekly, it's like, and I saw how Mercury was going to be, oh my God, my back's hurting. Hold on, I'm going to lean back a little bit. Ooh. When I did the weekly and I saw that Mercury was going to be conjunct Chiron and North Node, I knew that that was going to be bringing some stuff up. But in a way that also could be beneficial, you know? And then also I think Venus and Pisces was also in a couple squares in the beginning of this week, and that would lead to needing to be kind of isolated to be dealing with certain stuff. So this is definitely a perfect time to be moving through some big things that you want to put a final closing on, or you want to have an official death burial of, because they're being so clear about it. Like, it's not a death, it's a burial. So specifically, these are things that you are burying that actually have been dead for a long time, but now you're officially just burying it and letting it go. Like, Anubis keeps wanting to come up. He doesn't want to go away. I wish I had an Anubis deck, because he's just very prominent. I do want to pull some other cards here, and then I think we're actually going to wrap it up, because I do get a lot of things going on today. You know what deck I haven't used in a bit? The Runic Tarot. So let's do that one. Any other messages or insights for the collective regarding this spread? Some of you are actually picking up a new passion. Hold on, this is coming through really quickly. Like putting one away and picking up another. That could be a study. That could be an art. But it feels new. It feels like closing the chapter on something that you've put a lot of your energy into, and now you're ready to put energy into something else, but you're inspired to do so. That's kind of nice. That's cool. Oh yeah, like the video, guys, please. I appreciate it. We got almost 300 people in here, and we have like 96 likes. I definitely would appreciate it. It does help the videos to kind of circulate and get out there. But yeah, I'm getting that too. Okay. Any other messages or insights? You're working with the runes? Oh, cool. Very cool. I have runes, and I've tried studying them on and off, but that just hasn't really cemented for me. But I think people who are really into it, I think that's very cool. And I do like too, I think they're called bind runes, right? Where you can combine them to have a very specific energy behind the rune. Anyway, I think that's cool too. Does Anubis witness the scales that weigh the heart against a feather? Ma'at weighs, isn't that Ma'at? I thought Ma'at does that. So Ma'at is responsible for the scales, for sure. My understanding is, and I could be wrong, and maybe there's also different ways of looking at it, between Anubis, Ma'at, and Osiris, I believe those are the three that are involved in that whole process. Now, as far as which one does what, as far as one ushering the soul to the scales, one actually weighing the scales, and then one that is executing the final judgment. That's the information that's in my brain. So if anybody knows for sure, by all means, please comment down here. I was pretty sure Anubis ushers the souls, and the Ma'at weighs the scales, but Osiris is king of the underworld and has the little king. Well, no, he kind of is king god of the underworld, and that he has the final say. But I could be wrong, like I said. Or again, mythology always has different variations. But I'm moving on. Any other messages or insights for the collective? Yeah, in grieving, we have the Six of Swords. So again, moving into the sunrise, into spring. We are now here. I'm just excited that it's spring. I didn't think I'd be this excited, but I am. I am for some reason. Anyway, I'm just happy. But moving on into new horizons, moving towards that sunrise, moving towards new beginnings, and leaving the past in the past. Peacefully, too, I might add. Peacefully. Anubis makes the final judgment. Okay. Hi, Alice. Hi. Let's see. Oh, interesting. We have Empress in reverse on home. Talk about mother energy. I feel like this is about moving into Empress energy. Empress in reverse can be an energy of not really taking care of oneself. It can also be feeling restricted, one's not growing, almost like a feeling of stagnancy. Osiris makes the final judgment. My bad. Okay. That's what I thought, but again, right? I'm sure there's different interpretations of all of that. We just had a wild snowstorm here. So excited for spring. My body just wants rest today. Anubis ushers the souls. Okay, okay, okay. Such a fascinating pantheon. I mean, there's so many pantheons out there, but the Egyptian one is really interesting. But anyway, so Empress in reverse can be this feeling of stagnancy, like not really growing, or like finding it hard to take care of yourself, or finding it hard to nurture the self. But this is also what's shifting. This is what is shifting. Some of you, this can also be coming up again, so many infinite ways this could be happening for people. But one could also be working on your own mother stuff, your own insecurities or wounds, or I don't like the word issues, challenges with feminine energy, and how to be in that in a healthy way, how to give to oneself in a healthy way. But it's coming down to emotional nourishment. That's what it's coming down to. Because that's the other thing too. If you can get into that energy and get out of this place of being a little rigid on yourself, feeling stuck, feeling imprisoned, then you actually can move into flow. Then you can actually move into a flow state, which the Empress provides. I just heard this. This is gonna be for some of you. I just wanna be in safety. I just wanna be in safety. I just wanna be in a safe place. I just wanna be in a secure place. I think that's, the whole collective has gone through waves of that the last few years. Anything else? Oh, beautiful. Now we have the Chariot coming out with the Empress in reverse. So victory and triumph over this. It's kind of interesting too. It's like, even when you look at the illustrations, there's such a victorious energy. And in the Chariot, typically it's the Emperor that sits there. But in this deck, it's a Valkyrie. Right? Kind of like just that feminine power that wants to come forward here. This feels like reclaiming your healthy, feminine, maternal, how to take care of self, how to nurture self, how to balance self, how to be in that flow state. But it's also about receiving too. So this is about recalibrating that. But when you get into that place, like I was saying before, and you allow all the energy, that divine energy to flow through you, you also share that with other people. I'm trying to put up cards. But people also come to you, right? The Empress usually doesn't have to do much for people to show up around her. And that's part of this too. That's part of this too. Some of you have felt really alone, which has also put a damper on some of that Empress energy, but you don't have to feel alone. They keep really hitting home on that Cancer energy. Again, some of you could have really strong Cancer placements. Oh, nice. Six of Wands. Yeah, that's what I thought. 6 of Wands coming in on closure. So now you have 2 sixes, 6 of Swords and the 6 of Wands. You guys know 6 of Wands, that's victory. That's victory, that's recognition. And usually coming after the 5, right, which is some sort of battle or some sort of conflict or tension or stressful situation. This closure did not come easy, is how that feels to me. Yeah, again, they're saying because of the 5s too. Both of these cards are about moving from the 5s to the 6s. From the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands to the 6 of Swords and the 6 of Wands. Those are not easy victories. And again, Chariot even being a card of victory. But this did not come easy. And if you haven't moved through this yet, it won't come easy. But it's worth it. It's worth it. Some of you might feel like you actually had to like, I don't want to say this, battle your soul. It's like, doesn't feel right. For your soul. Some of you might feel like you had to like fight quite a bit on behalf of your soul against whatever this is. With so much energy around like the Empress, Cancer, South Node, North Node, a lot of you, these are just really, really big karmic cycles. Some of you could be past life cycles as well, or ancestral. I just keep getting it. It's not easily won. Oh boy. All right, hold on. Let me get all the cards out here. Any other messages or insights? Feeling a big, like, in moving through this closure, I feel like something else that's being lifted are just restrictions around the heart space. Oops. Restrictions on the heart space, and we'll get into that in a minute. Some of you, this is also about soul retrieval. Oh, okay. All right. So now we have the Lovers in reverse that landed on the Empress in reverse. So again, speaking to that level of imbalance, lack of harmony, etc. But again, this is about being victorious and rectifying that, harmonizing that, right? But that Lovers and Empress in reverse, something else that I was picking up on is just like a very cold energy, actually. A very, very cold energy. Let me just feel into that. Yeah, it feels like a really closed off heart is honestly what I'm picking up on. Iced over, I think is a good word for that. Iced over. And again, this could be something that's relating back to like family patterns, ancestral stuff, karmic stuff, but it doesn't have to. I'm just saying that energy is definitely here for those where that resonates. Um, but yeah, it just feels like an ice wall around the heart. Like, where's the give and the take? There is none. There can't be. There can't be energetic exchanges on that level. There can't be connections on that level with this kind of energy. Which again, it kind of circles back to what we're talking about, right? It's like how important it is to get in that energy, to have that divine creator energy, your own divine energy move through you, and you can connect to others in that way. You can share in that with others. You're closing this out so you can actually do that. Can that be from a person or people we're dealing with? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But you're closing this out. Now, overall, 3 of Swords. Ouch. But again, closing out some shit. That's why that's there. That's why that's there. A new perspective on pain, though. I just got that too. A new perspective on pain. Some of you may utilize creativity as an outlet to transmute some of whatever this painful energy is. Again, especially as it relates to this kind of iced out heart, that will help to get you to the victory here and help you to like really truly bury this in a sacred way. Art is a great outlet for that. That's why they have art therapy, right? I like that too, though, because if you can use your own creative energy to bury this 3 of Swords, it is very sacred to do it that way. You're literally using your own divine light to do that, and that is how you transmute. Well, there's many ways to transmute, but that is how you transmute. It doesn't always have to look like crying. It doesn't always have to look like, I don't know, screaming or whatever. It doesn't always have to be this like crazy emotional experience. It should still be emotional, but there's many, many, many ways to move through and transmute energies like this, right? Different things work for different people. And even then, different pain may be transmuted in different ways that other pain probably can't or has a harder time to. But I do see that. I see that. Very nice. Let's do an oracle card and then I'm gonna bounce. Oh, actually, I take it back. I haven't pulled the Fae deck out in a bit. It's been a little bit. Can I get a Fae card for this reading, please? Yeah, because like I haven't felt this card in this deck in a bit, and so I was like, "Hey, remember us?" I was like, "Yes, I do." Oh, you're never alone, and that's the other thing too. That the illusion that we're alone, we're really not. No one's ever really truly alone, but that's the lie. That is the illusion, and living in these modern ways that keeps us disconnected from ourselves. Disconnected from our divine inspiration, disconnected from being in that with other people, also perpetuates that illusion that we're alone. It's just not true. I'm also breaking curses fun times. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. I can never pronounce these. Las Guna. I think that's how you say that. Las Guna. 39 bring it down to a 3. You see how like amped, like not amped, prepped, prepared, anticipatory she is sitting on that mushroom, just ready to leap, looking forward, looking ahead. She's ready. She's ready. She's prepared to jump to the next mushroom or the next lily pad. That looks like a mushroom to me. I think that's a mushroom. And she's serene about it. And I don't know if you guys can see what's going on in the background, but there's a lot going on in that background. There's a lot of other fae, there's a lot of talking and watching going on, and she is just like, no. She is just in her energy, in her zone. I mean, look at her face. I don't know if it'll like focus. I'm trying to get it to focus. I don't think it will. Yeah, it's not going to focus, but yeah, she's zen. She knows where she's going, and she knows the right timing of it too. That's interesting. For those who haven't experienced this victory of moving on yet, this closure yet, when it comes, there's going to be a very small transitionary window where it's almost like you've done the closing. You've been alchemizing the pain. You've been doing the whole sacred burial, whatever it is. And you're going to know that you can jump to the next mushroom, but there's a perfect timing in it, is actually what I'm getting. There's a divine timing in it. I have a friend who uses the phrase like, you got to let the cement harden, which I think is a really good metaphor for this kind of work, where like when we newly move through an energy or some kind of process, right? It's like, it's still fresh, right? We need time to integrate, right? We need time to get really anchored and settled into whatever the post version of us is. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. Like, let the cement harden, let that closure really solidify, and you'll know. You'll suddenly know when to act. You'll suddenly know when to act. And she's listening for it. That's kind of how it feels. Like she's listening for it. She's listening for it. She's feeling it out. And she's not letting anything distract her either. I like that. I like it. Let's get one more. Wait. Oh, yeah. It's interesting because I picked up the deck and I left one on the table like this, like down, and I looked at Singer of Courage, which I think also definitely applies here. But we also have the Death card. Interesting. Can I get one more? Can I get one more? They're like, why? You didn't need it. Love it. I love when that happens. Y'all know why this is here. Death. But this Death card specifically speaks to more of like the new beginnings that come from these kind of transitions and closing things out, not necessarily the actual ending of it. So it's like, again, right? Going through this official, sacred, blessed burial, whatever words you want to use for it, and knowing that there's going to be a perfect time to step into what comes after. A perfect time to step into this place of just really fully embodying it, and whatever new, they said new again, new hobbies, new passions, new outlets for your creative energy that arise. I keep getting the timing of it all. Let's see what's on the bottom here. Ooh, Penelope Dreamweaver. I do like that. Dreamweaver is exactly how it sounds. It's that co-creative energy, right? Think spider, think magician. Let's see what's on the top here. Oh, the loom. Again, these words are hard for me. That feels like a lesson. Perception, perspective, view, perspective. Yeah, this feels like an energy that's going away with the being closed out. This is a card that speaks of giving and taking. You can see how her wings are all tattered, but she's sitting there. She's relatively peaceful, but she's been through some shit, right? A lot of us who are resonating with this, who are moving through this, there is some closing out of lessons of give and take. Okay. Whether that's over giving or over receiving, which is really taking, right? Right. So just take that as it resonates. But yeah, beautiful. Okay. I don't think we need to pull any other cards. It seems pretty clear to me. It seems pretty clear. I've been thinking about voice acting and writing. Oh, okay. Former photographer, graphic designer, product designer. I think that's super cool. That is super, super cool. And anybody who can do like voice acting too, that's like such an art. That's such an art. And I feel like you need a very like distinct kind of voice in order to like have that kind of range. I think that's like very fun. This is hitting my heart space. Chanting and singing have been my jam lately. Yeah. Music is big this year. Music is so big this year, and I'm here for it. I am so here for it. But I'm gonna go. I heard Yamaya yelling surrender at me this morning. Like such mama energy too. She has such mama energy. I could totally see her doing that. I love Yamaya. I love her dearly. I worked with her a lot when I was living in Hawaii. I still work with her here and there, but a lot when I was in Hawaii. And I've been feeling Hawaii again. I was listening to all my Hawaii vibes this morning, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this feeling. I remember what that felt like. But anyway, I'm gonna bounce. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have an amazing first day of spring. What else do I want to mention? I'll be doing signs later today. Again, I got a lot of stuff going on. And I know somebody got in for a booking for tomorrow. If you're watching, I need to reschedule with you. So actually, okay, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna go because you guys don't like to talk. So Spirit has this like funny way of doing things. A Spirit does. I have my time blocked out for right now as I'm like getting my new schedule in place, because I also am trying to do things in person. So I'm trying to get everything schedule wise orchestrated before I open myself up back for sessions, which I do intend on doing. But Spirit keeps allowing people to get in on the block time, and it's the most bizarre thing because it's happened so many times in the last couple of years that now I just kind of surrender to it. I feel like it's Spirit's way of going like, no, this person needs a session, or like hey, time to get back to sessions. And especially that they booked today for tomorrow, because like on Wix I have it to where you shouldn't be able to book more than 3 days in advance. Like that's like the earliest you should be able to book is like 3 days before, and this person got in for tomorrow, and I'm just like, okay, Spirit. Okay. And I feel like I've written so many emails to people explaining that, and I'm like, I'm sure I sound, insert word here, I don't have a word for that. But yeah, if it's meant to be, it's gotta be, right? I know. But I do plan on opening back up for sessions. Just I need to get more organized first. I recall you saying that in multiple videos to the ones who go through somehow. It's bizarre. It's so bizarre because like you'll look at the calendar and it literally says blocked out, and then it has like an appointment like right on top of it. And it's like, don't know how that's happening, but okay. Anyway, so if you're watching, I need to reschedule with you. The Spirit communicates their zeros, though, Spirit realm. Yes, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so there's that. But I'm gonna bounce, guys. Again, have a great day. Have a great first day of spring. And yes, please don't forget to like the video. It does really help the videos to circulate. And the algorithm is all kinds of confused and not happy with me ever since I keep, making all these changes. But I appreciate you guys so much for showing up. I appreciate everybody here who has supported me and continues to support me. Oh, excuse me. I'm grateful. I'm just grateful. I'm ready, sitting on my mushroom. Yeah, and again, like that energy, right? Just zen, just tuning out the bullshit, just tuning out the distractions, knowing she's going soon. She's just waiting for the green light. Like, it's beautiful. All right, guys. Take care. See you later. Bye. Namaste.